Hi, I'm Miss April, a teacher on the online teaching platform OutSchool. Are you even a little bit worried about the PSAT or the SAT coming up? If you want to know how to answer 50% of convention questions, that's the grammar punctuation portion. If you want to know how to do those without ever reading the passage, and be 100% sure you're correct, keep watching. Again, I'm Miss April, as my students call me, and I'm a teacher on the leading online teaching platform, OutSchool. Why should you trust me? I know I'm fairly new here. I was trained by someone that studied the test for years. He still does. This is a very unique test, and I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this test. There's a lot of other videos out there about the test, and some are good. None of them show you what I'm getting ready to show you. And many of them will tell you at least one thing that's incorrect about this test. But the truth is, anybody can understand and ace this test. So this test is unique. You can't cram for it. And if you try to memorize things, you're not going to get a good result. Reading comprehension. You don't do it like you do it in school. You don't interpret the passage, sum it up, figure out what the author wants you to think. It's different. But there are certain red flags that will help you know that the wrong answers are wrong. And there's a way to do the questions. If you don't know why you keep missing questions when you've done even as far back as the paper test, or any practice test, you don't know why you're getting them wrong, come see me because I can tell you why. Grammar. These are the convention questions. There are shortcuts in the grammar section that will allow you to do about 50% of the questions without reading the passages. And you will know that you're 100% correct. And I'm not kidding. Math. Questions are structured different than what you see in math class. And there's plenty of shortcuts and ways of seeing the correct answer when you know what to look for. Plus, there's a strategy to help you finish in time. And using a calculator for everything is not the way to do it, even if you're allowed to. Okay, so let's look at the question. We're about to see a convention question. Hang in there. My explanation is long, but that's for your understanding, and it won't be like this every time you see it. If you come to my class, you're going to understand it and take the time that you need. Let's get to it. Okay, so here's a real SAT Convention of Standard English question. And yes, I have a block over top of the passage. I don't want you to see that yet. So there's some things that we want to notice. So every question on the SAT has its own look. The convention questions, for instance, if you have all verbs in your answers, they will look different. They won't have punctuation, and they look a certain way. These have a certain way that they look as well, and I'm not going to go into that in detail right now. The only thing I'm going to say is that the word sampler is the same. A, B, C, and D. It doesn't change. So there's no problem with that. Then you have the punctuation. Oh, sorry for that. I'm new to doing this. You'll have to excuse me. Okay, so, oh, and just for clarification, I'm not new to the test. I'm just new to videotaping it for YouTube. So bear with me. Okay, so this right down through there, that line of sight is what I call a split. The punctuation changes. So that tells you that there's a problem there. That is what you have to fix. Okay, so I'm not going to go into detail about the structure makeup of it that much, but this type of question means that you have to be looking for 3 connectors that connects to independent clauses. So what's an independent clause? It's a sentence, basically. So it will be a complete thought, and it has a subject and a verb. Okay, you don't have to recognize that, not for this question. You do have to know the connectors. There's only 3. So these are grammatically correct ways you can connect 2 sentences together. So that means you have a sentence, you have a connector, and you have another sentence, full sentences. So a period. You usually put those at the end of a sentence. So that is one of them. A second one is a semicolon. We can put that in between 2 sentences. The third one, and this is important to understand, a comma with a conjunction. What is a conjunction? Don't have to know the fancy name for it. You just have to know what they are. So you may be familiar with the acronym FANBOYS. So there's a whole bunch of conjunctions. We only need to know 3. And, but, so a comma must be paired with these conjunctions. A comma by itself is not a connector. It has to be a comma and, or a comma but, or a comma so. So those are the 3 connectors. We want to look for those in our split right here. So notice that B has a semicolon. So that is probably our answer. It is our answer, but we want to be certain. So we have to look at the other answers too, and we have to know an exact reason they are wrong. So A, there's no punctuation in between sampler and later. When you have no punctuation, it is going to be a run-on sentence. Always will be a run-on sentence. C, so we said that a comma with a conjunction is a connector. A comma by itself is not. It is missing and but and so, or and but and so. That makes it wrong. D, we want to look at this as a whole little rectangle there. We want to look at it as one word inside of the same punctuation. That will always be wrong. It may be dashes. It can be any kind of punctuation, but one word will not follow the rule that this has to follow. So this will always be wrong. And so we've answered this question, and we never had to look at the passage. So let me remove the block and show you. So our sentence starts here. And this blank, the reason that I call these down here a split, it splits the words up. It tells you where they go. Your blank is split in half. So this word sampler goes over here. Later, or lack of anything, goes here. And so that split is kind of like our boundary. So in 2004, Watt sewed strips of blankets together to craft a 10 by 13-inch sampler. Watt is our subject. Sewed is our verb. And it is a complete thought. It makes sense. So it's an independent clause, full sentence. On the other part, in 2014, she arranged folded blankets, blah, 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 all the way to the end. She is our subject, arranged is our verb, and it is a complete thought. And it doesn't matter if we use the word later or not. It's still independent either way. The way that these questions are made, they are made so that it will come out this way every time you do it. You can trust this process, which you will see if you come see me in my class. I know there are many of you out there that, need some help, and it's understandable. The digital test is a new test, but you can do it. There's a lot of things like this. This is just one shortcut. There are more. So the link to my OutSchool profile will be in the description. Like the video, subscribe. I know this is long. I'm a rambler. I can't help it. And it's my first video, so I'd have to tape it a bazillion times before I got it exactly right, probably. So, first one for this. There will be more, but for most of the goodies, you have to come see me in class. I offer private one-to-one classes, and I offer group ones. I've got some more coming out soon, a semester class, and I've got some supplemental things going on. And I am not a conceited person at all, but I do have confidence in the fact that I can get you the grade that you want on this test. I know this test. Yeah, I know it. So I'm gonna get out of here now and quit talking. So hope you enjoyed it, except for the going on and on part. Feel free to ask questions and I will do my best to answer them.